Hello, 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 hello. I am sitting and reflecting, on my day. Just sitting, just quiet time. I remember there were times that I did not do this. Um, and what I mean by that is, it's like I felt like I always had something going on. I always had to be doing this or that, or um, helping here, helping there. Now, don't get me wrong, you are supposed to help, but there is a time of the day where you're just supposed to just sit and reflect, okay? Um, and that's actually a watch. We have 8 watches, so that's actually one of the watches, and it's like I'm sitting here now and I'm thinking and just so much is coming, and so I said, you know what, let me do a video and record and upload for the people, because surely what I'm getting is not just for me. So I said, you know what, even though it's my time of relaxing, I'm still going to come, and I'm gonna come in a relaxed mode. That's the reason why you see me the way that I am. I'm in a relaxed mode. I came from the gym, and after I came from the gym, I went and did a fruit run because I was semi out of fruit. And so I have my fruit in there with my baking soda and vinegar. And so I did my shower. And so I threw on a little t shirt or whatever. And of course, put something on my head. And so I'm semi sitting, laying here. And what I hear and what I heard was this, and it applies to me as well. This is let me back up. Let me back up and take my time. This is the reason why we have to in this hour be so sensitive, and we're going to have to make certain that we're really, really listening to the Holy Spirit. You know, when you're sensitive, for those of you who may not know what I'm talking about, being sensitive is just simply paying attention to what's going on. You may feel something in your stomach, that's the Holy Spirit. You may feel, an uneasiness, that's the Holy Spirit letting you know, okay, something is off or something is wrong. And you may get a quiver sometime, that means that something good is about to happen. So I said that to say this. I want us, in spite of what's going on, to remain encouraged. Now, does that mean that I'm retreating and backtracking off of the stay alert? Absolutely not. I'm going to continue with the stay alert, okay? Because we have to stay alert. You still have to stay alert. You still have to be sober, be vigilant. You got to pay attention, right? We know this. But here is what I want to say, and I pray that many of you get it, and I pray that many of you apply it. We're not in a position with the hour that we're currently in to just do things the way we typically would do things in the past, okay? So it's like you have to make certain that things are done a certain way, and that you don't procrastinate. So not only do you have to do things a certain way, you're not able to procrastinate as well. So if you have to do something, or you're told to do something, you have to do it then. So here's what I want us to do. You know how we had the things that have been dropping and things that have been coming forth, and it seems like, okay, here we go. We got, the DEI, and you're dealing with that, and then we wake up to and hear about, the funds being pulled, how things are gonna be paused, and then how the judge had to come in. And we could just go on and just talk about and say everything. And so here's what happened. We have a group of people when the DEI stuff dropped and said what was gonna be done. Some people like, okay, well, I'm not a minority. I don't have no disability. That don't apply to me. And so it's like, okay, we had a group of people, okay, who was kind of affected, but then okay, the majority saying like, okay, I wasn't affected. Okay, then we proceed and then we go to the next thing. Then some of those people in that group who was walking around and saying, okay, well that doesn't apply to me. Well, bam, that hit. Okay, and so when that hit and that happened, then it was like, okay, so that didn't affect you, in that regard. But think about it like this here. So it's like that didn't affect you, but then we have this going on. Will this affect you? So now we got another group of people. So the number kind of increased. Stay with me. So eventually, we're going to have more and more people who are going to be affected. So rolling out the first thing, no, it may have not affected many people. But then as we continue, it affects more and more people with different things that is being rolled out, right? So here's what I heard, and here's the set of instructions. For those of you who missed the video that I uploaded today, please go back and listen to it, okay? Go back and listen to it. I also want some of you to go back and listen to where I stated about a lifestyle of sin and fallen sin. Now, the reason why I uploaded that short is because where we are now, I will be referencing fallen sin and lifestyle of sin. And I'm not going to have time to always break it down and explain it. So, what I did was I dropped it as a short one morning so you guys will be able to see. And you'll be able to look at the heading to know which one I'm talking about. So, I clearly heard we're not supposed to go in and start to pray and asking God to help us in this situation and that situation without properly saying we're grateful already. Let me explain what I mean by that. We just gonna say, for instance, let's say I own the daycare and I own the child care center, or I was a recipient of a Pell Grant. And I've been going to school for years and getting the Pell Grants, and now here it's like, oh my goodness, I may not get my Pell Grant. So let's say I was a daycare owner, or let's say I was a recipient of receiving child care because I had minor children. Okay? I cannot go, hear me well, I cannot go into prayer and saying to God, how am I going to make it if my daycare is shut down? How am I going to finish and get my degree if I'm not able to have it funded through the government because I can't pay for it out of my pocket? Okay, I can't talk like that. It's like how do I want to say this? It's like you can't have that mindset. And here's the deal: I get it and I understand it. I'm not here to point fingers or to talk about anybody or to say anything about the way that we do things whenever something happens. I'm here to help. I will never come and be the person to, like, I got it all together. That's not how I do it. That's not how I say it. I have to adjust and tweak things as well. So when God gives it to me via the Holy Spirit, it's to help me as well. So we cannot. Here's what's going to happen if you walk around and you make those comments and say things like, oh my, I can't believe, what am I going to do? I cannot finish school because I have no fun. Oh my, what am I going to do about this daycare? I've been had this daycare for 15, 20 years. I haven't worked. I can't go back and work for nobody. You know, when you do those things, here's what's happening. Two things. First of all, you're discrediting God for what He's already done. And then, second, that's what you're drawing into you. That's what you're drawing in. Okay? You're drawing in that fear, that uncertainty. You're drawing in, oh my, this anxiousness. Okay? What we have to be careful to do is this. The first thing is you're going to tell God, thank you for the number of years. If you have a Pell Grant loan and you got it for the last 2 to 3 years, you thank Him for it. If you've had a daycare for the last 10, 12 years and most of the recipients in your place was receiving federal assistance, you're going to first and foremost tell Him thank you and tell Him and say, God, I appreciate what you've done. I know you didn't have to do it. And even if this isn't resolved, whichever way it goes, I honor you. I appreciate you. That's how we're going to do that. Okay? And then after you do that, then that's when you're going to say to Him what it is. God, I'm trusting you to favorably move on my behalf. Intervene. Touch, touch, touch their hearts. You see what I'm saying? I pray this makes sense to everybody. That's how you're going to do that. And then after you do that, you're going to be positive. If you're in your daycare facility, you're going to walk around your daycare facility and walk around there and say, I trust God that everything is going to work out for me. Don't be selfish and other daycare owners. We're doing right by the children. We take care of them. We do what we're supposed to do. And then for the person who's in school, you're going to say, God, I've been a good student. I've studied my lessons. I've done what I was supposed to do. I'm on time. I'm punctual. My grades are where they're supposed to do. I take time out with my studies. Please honor what it is that how I've been a good steward. You see how we're going to do that? That's how this is done. Okay? And so we have to regroup. And as I stated, I'm here and I'm sitting and I'm saying, okay, I have to go share this because even if we don't have everybody aboard right now and nothing has touched you, you're not a federal worker, the DEI doesn't apply to you, the assistance that is on pause, none of this apply to you, so you're good. But here's the thing that everybody has to remember. When is your stuff coming? When is He going to touch that stuff that's going to affect you? We're in this together. We are in this together. And so that's the mindset that we have to have. You're no longer in a position to walk around and not have timers set. You have to have timers set on your cell. Why do you have to have timers set? You have to remember to pause. You're remembering to pause to pray. You're remembering to pause to speak decrees. Okay? A lot of people like to make it all deep and whatever. No, decree is just simply, you can just speak out of your mouth and say simple things like, God, I trust you that no matter what takes place, no matter what goes on, me and my family is going to be okay. We're going to have what we need to eat. We're going to have a place, a roof over our head. We shall not be sick. I trust you, God, that all is well. Okay, those things of those nature. So I had to come and share that. And like I said, I wanted to do this because here's what people do. And I vowed to not do this. Everything that I see people do, and I kind of question or look at a certain way, I vowed to not do that. And so what I mean by this is you have so many people who blog, you have so many people who, do the shorts, you have so many people who do just different things or whatever, and, they edit, they make it look nice. It's like, everything is perfect. The background is perfect. Their hair is perfect. Their makeup is perfect. They never use the wrong grammar. They pause when they need to pause, and they speak every word correctly, and so forth and so on, and there are never no mishaps. That's not real. That's not real life. And so that's why I said, you know what, the thought came into my mind. I thought about it in this position, in this part of my house. I'm not getting ready to go and prep and do this and do that and do the third. I'm not doing that. I'm coming the way that I am and where I am because I have to be real. If I try to be somebody else and do other things, one, I'm not being true to myself. Two, I'm not being true to you guys. And three, you need to be able to relate. Like all of this prop stuff and all of this in the third and people just not being real. Come on, let's be realistic. Like I really do. Can y'all see? I really do lay on my sofa and put my cover over me. And if I get a call or get a text or something, I text, back and forth to do whatever I have to do. Like, this is real. Like, we have to be real with people. And so, this is where we are, guys. Keep in mind what I stated. Do not go to God with asking Him to help you with whatever is going on that has affected you, and you have not thanked Him and appreciated what He has done thus far. Okay? So let's keep that in mind. I love you guys. I know you guys love me. We're going to get through this together. Be encouraged. We can do this. We're going to do this. God is not going to forsake the righteous. He's not. He has us. You can't walk around quoting the scriptures and they're not alive within you. Your movement, your actions and what you speak out of your mouth, it shows, okay? It shows who you're serving. It shows whose side you're really on. People can see, people can pay attention. And here's the thing, not that you have anything to prove to anybody, but how you walked around when everything was great and grand and you was calling on the Lord, quoting scriptures and just, everything good over here. I highly favored and I love the Lord and I'm evangelist this and I did that and we had good church and we was this and that. But now some of these things affecting you, and then it's like your whole demeanor has changed. That's not how this goes. God did not promise us that every day would be sunshine. He didn't promise that. So we have to hold to what He said. I promise you, and I'm done after I say this. If we apply the principles and use practical tools and strategies that are going to come from the Holy Spirit, okay, we're going to be fine. But let me tell you this, you, me, and none of us are going to be okay acting and moving and operating out of self. We can't. The Holy Spirit guides us to all truths, and He's the teacher. Okay? You guys be blessed. And remember what I said. Be encouraged. We're going to get through this together. Okay? You guys be blessed. Good night.